Hi again, and given our discussion yesterday that we had about basically environmental, climate justice issues and so on being fundamental, but actually touching on the key theme of all this, which is turning away from things we're getting wrong and going towards things that we think we should be doing, or maybe we've got to address, even if we haven't yet gone there yet. I want to kind of go a little bit further with all this, and in order to do that, Peter, I want to bring us back to, if you remember, probably 10 videos ago, we talked about how but less than that actually. The whole biblical perspective was creation happened, it was all good, it was all brilliant.
Yeah.
And then everything fell away because us humans messed up, typified by Adam and Eve in the story there. And then for donkey's years, Israel tried to be good but always failed, and God kept trying to encourage them and help them, and then they'd fall away again. And so Jesus had to come, and so Jesus is in the picture on this kind of, the kingdom has come, but it's not fully here yet. We're going to see some signs of things being really good, and so we've got to look to not only to the present, which is what we talked about last time, Earth, which we've got to look after, but the future, which happens down the line, and we get a picture of in the book of Revelation. So I just want to come back to Genesis 1 and 2, which is the creation story. Well, now, what I want to say on this is, I'm not really wanting to get into the discussions about, is it literal? Is this story literal?
Right.
Is it metaphorical? Is it a myth? I don't even want to particularly get into the evolution creation debate, which is, I think, a bit of a red herring almost to the discussion I want, because this whole topic of repentance is not about how did we get here. It's about why we're here.
Yeah.
And why did God create the world, not how did God create the world. I am assuming there that he created something and it didn't just happen. And that brings in a thing we could perhaps touch on next time, which is that God created out of nothing. There's an interesting discussion to be had there. So I think I want to float questions. I don't know whether you want to comment on these, Pete, about what can we learn about God from creation, and what can we learn from creation itself? Might be two good questions. And maybe what can we learn about being human and our place within creation? So what can we learn from it? What can we learn about God from it, creation? And what can we learn about being human? Got any thoughts on those?
Yeah, I think we can learn that creation is very much an ordered world with lots of things that work together. For example, DNA in our human bodies, and people can study something and reason with it. So we can learn from creation that things happen for a reason, but what we can learn from ourselves and God and the Bible is we can learn why things happen. And when you were saying that whole thing, it made me think that our disagreements on the environment are all about why, how, and I think I agree on the how. So I agree, maybe I don't, but I sort of disagree with sort of the reasoning behind all the environmental things rather than the scientific part of it. Because I think that the environment is getting worse because of humanity, but I don't think...
that agrees with me, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's sort of like a observation. I don't agree that it's... Maybe I'm saying something a bit confusing, but I the reason behind it, like the why of why it's important, I don't think it's important. So if you detailed the science and the CO2 levels, like the science of it, I understand, but sort of the...
So are you coming back, you said earlier on in our discussion about those 4 points, that it's not entirely fundamental. You're saying, but it's a bit kind of not important, which would be the second one of those points. It's a bit irrelevant.
I think it's a top 10 issue in the world, and it's not the most important thing.
So in that case, it wasn't important that God created it?
Well, it is if you believe in God.
Right.
I don't think I'm necessarily got a coherent thought at the moment.
Well, maybe we should come back to it then.
Yeah, so it's an interesting...
If you're thinking about it and I'm thinking about what you're saying, I hope that people out there who are listening to this are thinking about it as well.
If you want my opinion, don't listen to me.
I think we better stop there for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.